Hey guys, it's December 1st. It's kind of late, but it's just got into my tent about 20 minutes ago, so thought I would do a quick live video just to keep things current. So yeah, it's December 1st. I believe I spoke to you guys last November 27th. So what happened November 27th, I ended up going to, or getting into my sleeping bag about 1:30 a.m. that morning. I was in Deer Lake, where I grabbed a shower, did laundry, this and that, worked on the computer a bit, and by the time I got to the tent, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And at 4:30 a.m. I was still wide awake. So I decided right then and there that I was not going to proceed on the 28th. I was going to take a day off. Hi Ellen, I see Ellen's just come in watching. Anyways, so I took a day in Deer Lake on the 28th, worked on blogs and uploading photos to Flickr and this and that, and was pretty productive for the whole day. Anyway, so then November 29th, I left Deer Lake, got out at a fairly reasonable time, got to, we started out overcast, but then I got to Corner Brook and the rain hit and I got myself completely soaked, and quite a bit of mountains in Corner Brook. Anyways, once I got on top of Corner Brook and heading westbound, this rain turned into snow, and it was kind of a full, I would say, well, yeah, I mean, there was a section where it was like just a full-blown blizzard. Anyways, I decided to obviously pull over. I was completely soaked, my gear was soaked, everything was soaked. But anyways, I was setting up a tent. There was a RV park that was just off the side and it was closed. And there was this like little, I don't know, there was just this overhang or whatever. Anyway, well, whatever. I was setting up my tent, and then all of a sudden this guy pulls up, because I was right off the highway. So this guy pulls up, and he's like, he says he's from Ontario, but he's got this English accent, and he's like, I'm not an axe murderer, and I won't kill you tonight, but if you want, there's, I live just down the road at George's Lake. And he says, you're welcome to come by to hang tonight, kind of deal. And so I just had a feeling, and I said for sure right away. Basically, we threw the gear, because I was about 50% set up, and so we threw the gear in the back of his pickup truck and went to his place. He was with his son. He was bringing his son from Corner Brook for the evening, and then so we went to his place and got myself organized, and then we actually had to bring his son back to Corner Brook. And just the weather was just yeah, the snowstorm was in full blown. But anyways, then we went back to George's Lake, and he was actually a really cool guy. His first name is Sean. He's actually pretty private, so I'll just, his name was Sean. He's actually, so he's from Ontario. He's raised basically in England, and he's actually a military vet from the British military and the Canadian military. And I don't even know. This guy was a warrior through and through. It was actually an amazing evening just to hear. It was like, it was an honor. It was an honor. It was holy just to hear some of his stories. This guy was a true warrior through and through. Anyways, spent the night. So then yesterday woke up and the storm hadn't stopped. It was still kind of just full blown. And we agreed that it would be a good idea for me to spend another day at George's Lake. So ended up taking a day. We actually went into Stevens, like the power went out, so we went into Stevensville for breakfast. Came back, the power was still out. Excuse me, later on yesterday evening we went to Corner Brook to get some kerosene for the for his heater, and it was just, the storm was just full blown. I got to be honest, inside I was a little bit freaking out how bad the storm was, because it's like I knew I had to keep moving the following day. But anyways, we went into Corner Brook, came back, still no power. This morning, woke up, still no power. So we actually went back to Corner Brook for breakfast. And yeah, I mean, yeah, Sean was awesome. He covered my breakfast for the last 2 mornings. So he was just an awesome host. Like I said, he's just a war vet, and just it was so weird. I got to be honest, just to take a moment, like just I got to be honest. I never actually been in the presence of a true warrior, and yeah, this guy was a true warrior. It was truly an honor to hear some of his story, and just, yeah. He probably won't be watching this. Like I said, he's a pretty private guy or whatever. But Sean, if you happen to watch it, rock on, dude. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so yeah, so we went into Corner Brook again, like I said, for breakfast. Came back, and then I started my ride, and I did post a photo of this morning. Just completely snow covered, ice covered, you name it. Fairly hilly all day long. Fortunately, not really any wind really to speak of, but hilly, mountainous. Decided to push into the dark to be able to potentially get some supper, which I did. So I ended up doing 92 kilometers, which I guess is my new record once again. Not trying to break records, but just, yeah, I mean, it was a cold day today, that's for sure. It was cold, but I was probably spending a heck of a lot of time sweating, just simply because of the mountains and the hills. But anyways, yeah, so I'm about 96 kilometers from the ferry. So I'm thinking tomorrow I'll probably actually start a little bit earlier. It was because we went into Corner Brook. It was actually, I didn't start till like 10:45 this morning when I started pedaling. So I'm just outside the Irving, right behind the Irving gas station and the restaurant. So probably wake up at a reasonable time. Breakfast will be basically waiting for me, more or less. And it's about 96 to 100 kilometers to the ferry. So I don't see why I shouldn't push for that, because I think the following day they're calling for some pretty crappy weather. And, if I only had like 10 kilometers to ride or whatever, that'd be kind of a waste of a day, because then I'd have to wait, till the night for the night ferry kind of deal. So I think I'm going to push 9,600 kilometers for tomorrow to get to the ferry. So I guess technically this is actually my last night camping in Newfoundland. But anyways, Newfoundland's been amazing. Yeah, every aspect. Yeah, I'll probably do a blog post, just to kind of a review of Newfoundland and whatnot. But yeah, I think other than that, that's kind of it. Like, yeah, since I updated, I've kind of taken 2 days. 1 day in Deer Lake, and then an extra day at George's Lake. One was because of weather, and one was just because I got like 0 sleep that night, and I wasn't going to pedal through a day with 0 sleep. And it actually worked out great, because getting the chance to meet Sean was just unbelievable. It was a really amazing experience. Other than that, yeah, I guess that's, I could ramble, but it is getting late, and I'm basically all not packed up. I'm all set up in my tent and whatnot, and probably a good idea to get inside the sleeping bag before things get too cold in here. Today was the coldest day. I can pretty much say that I rode through. I mean, luckily it wasn't strong winds, but it would have been the coldest day that I've pedaled through. But there was quite a few mountains, quite a few hills, so did actually do quite a bit of sweating. But as usual, the base layers did their job. Cody's asking how the bike and the trailer in the snow for the first experience. Well, I didn't slip. I didn't wipe out. So for that, yeah, I mean, so far everything's working out pretty good. This morning, actually, when I was just before I loaded the bike this morning, the gears were frozen. So I am having a little bit of an experience with frozen gears. But we kind of wiggled them around and whatnot, and they eventually kind of got moving and whatnot. So yeah, a little bit of frozen gear experience this morning. But other than that, I mean, the shoulders weren't too, like, there wasn't a tremendous, I mean, there were certain sections when I first started where there was a lot of ice and whatever on the shoulder, whatever, but it wasn't horrible. So I didn't really have to deal too much with the ice and snow and whatnot, you know what I mean? And there was very, very little traffic, so if it got a little bit too thick, I just went onto the road and just kept an eye out for traffic. So yeah, snow and ice wasn't too much of an issue. So yeah, I guess maybe that's about it. Yeah, catching the ferry hopefully tomorrow night. So then that means I'll be in Sydney, I guess, because it's Sunday, so get to the ferry Monday night means I'll be in Sydney, Nova Scotia Tuesday. And then I got to figure out, I guess that's I've obviously had ample opportunity to figure it out, but I haven't really looked at the mileage too closely as far as what my decision is, because we would be December, well, if it's December 1st now, I would be in Sydney December 3rd. So I got to figure out getting a PI for Christmas, and also take into consideration of, do I go to Halifax on my way, or do I go the more direct route to Prince Edward Island? I really would like to do Halifax. It's just kind of important to get the PEI for Christmas, which technically there should be ample time, I think. I think I've made up some time and whatnot, so I think, I don't see why there's going to be any issue to get to PEI for sure. So I just got to decide whether or not, what kind of the difference is in mileage. And yes, I should have figured that out by now, but it's amazing what you kind of forget to do and remember to do and this and that, back and forth or whatever. But other than that, I think that's about it. So yeah, hopefully maybe in Sydney do the next video, I guess, or whatever. But anyways, thanks for watching, and appreciate all the support. Later. Bye.